See, I don't know why anyone would buy the Black Colorado when the Florida and California or even the West Virginia exist. I don't know why someone would want to get the Krasny Krem when the Kirov or Mikoyan exists. I don't know why people would get the Sevastopol when there's a padded room right down their street, most likely. Okay, one more. I don't know why you'd get the Exeter when the Hawken exists. I can't do it. I can't do it. Hi everyone, I am Sly47. Today we are talking about the premiums that came out that are just straight up better. I know the Hawkins isn't a premium. It was a joke. It was fun. I just had to add it in there. It was great. Okay, but yes, we are talking about the premiums that are just straight up better than older premiums that are out there, or just, hey, maybe there's a premium of another nation that is just so much nicer, that is more competitive or more meta within the game right now in World of Warships Blitz. Of course, these are mine. Let me know yours down below in the comments section. Let's put up some gameplay for the people that want to see the gameplay while we talk about this subject. And let's first off go off of the Black Colorado. It is not really unique, and hey, the West Virginia is right there if you want hard-hitting slap guns. If you want more meta ships that are a little bit on the slower side, the California fits you right there because of just how many guns it has at its disposal. And then of course the Florida's not too far behind in that gun department, and is also a lot faster and a lot more capable at hunting down ships in comparison to the slow Colorado, West Virginia style ships right there. So if you see the Black Colorado, don't go for it. Go for those two other ships of Florida and California, maybe even the West Virginia, because then you, of course, can just constantly play that song whenever you play the West Virginia, because, John Denver's a legend. Krasny Krem, I think this is pretty easy to explain. Big guns at small tiers do really good jobs, and even then, you could even go off of the idea of maybe why not get the Abel Makarov, why not get the Nuremberg, which is free, but we're talking about premiums today, so basically, don't get the Krasny Krem. It will eventually come to you in the missions crate, and you'll be forced to play that ship. You'll be like, crap, I need this copper maybe, and you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna want to deal with it. But the Kirov and the Mikoyan are just fantastic boats if you can pick them up. Absolute AP slingers at that tier, and at that tier you can pen battleships and Citadel Crisis them fairly often, and that is absolutely a good time. Now we're through the intro ships. Okay, but let's talk about this, because we have one ship that I really desperately wish they would fix. I really do, because it's got a history. It's got a history. It's the Tirpitz. And the Tirpitz has some really cool camos to it. It's an old premium, but it's just dated, because at this point, why even touch the Tirpitz when the Black Bismarck is right there with basically just way better skills with Rapid Reload 2 and Secondary Overload 1? I really do feel like the Tirpitz needs to be upgraded to at least either A, be a better brawler, or B, be like the super tanky. Give it an extra heal, or give it super heal. It'd be kind of interesting. Just give it something. It needs a new life in it, especially with how good that Frankenstein or Halloween camo it has for it. I have it. I absolutely love it, and I would love the ship to be good, but yeah, no, it's just not. Especially, once again, when you want to brawl, well, what's better than Rapid Reload 2 and Secondary Overload 1 in a brawl? Yes, I would like a Bismarck that just shoves AP down people's throats. Oh, and by the way, its secondaries are ripping you apart too. Just, why would you ever do that? So, don't do that yourself. Stay away from Tirpitz for right now until they buff it as a time. This video is, of course, in May 2024. Maybe they might buff it in the future. Maybe. Hopefully. Hopefully. Now, let's talk about the runts of the litter here on the HMS battleships. There's plenty of them here, but if you see the Collingwood or the Duke of York, don't. Don't. Go for Rodney, go for Nelson, go for Hood, even go for the Repulse 44. There are some fantastic Tier 7 HMS battleships, Rodney being the best of them all if you can pick that ship up. Absolute beast of a battleship, and a hilarious one when you're at low health. All of a sudden you get that super heal back again. People are like, I'm about to kill him, and you're like, no. No, you're not. No, denied. Absolutely denying you that kill, and just with how much super heal it has. And then, of course, Nelson just being the ultimate king of fire, I feel like, at Tier 7. Just an absolute IFHE plus monster if you can get him there. But Collingwood hits like wet noodles. It really needs some buffs. It does have that rapid reload. You can do a little bit of a surprise damage, but overall, it's just not that good. And then Duke of York, it's a very mediocre ship with an extra smoke. And if you just see how the Duke York and the King George V are in their tiers, they're kind of lackluster. But then when you put the Monarch and the Black Monarch next to each other, you're like, okay, that's actually a really good one. So you realize those ships, you just go, oh, it's just the base ship just sucks that much that adding a extra smoke to it doesn't really do anything for you. So state of the Rodney, state of the Nelson, Hood if you're feeling a little, wanting to get a little bit of revenge on some Bismarcks and stuff like that, because the Hood is a fantastic sniper. But on to the Giuseppe Verde. Just get the Marco Polo. Like, seriously, don't even waste your time on the Giuseppe Verde. SAP secondaries need to get buffed. Period. They need to get buffed. The Napoli at least can make it work with SAP secondaries because you have the guns to back it up and the torpedoes to add in. The Giuseppe Verde is just basically like, hey, what if we took a really good Roma Hall, put it up to tier 9, and then gave it secondary overload and SAP secondaries? And someone in the design department of Wargaming said that was a good idea. They did not look at it and play it. No. Get Marco Polo. Roma treatment with SAP and spotter plane. Fantastic time. Highly could suggest it. Giuseppe Verde. It's in the collector's bin probably for a reason. It might be usable at times, but yeah, just stay away from that one. Stay away from that one. Now, let's talk about a new kid on the block. And he doesn't have a lot of kicks. So, Tsurugi and Iwami. Tsurugi's a new kid, Iwami's kind of the older one. Just get Dyson. Like, just literally get Dyson. Iwami is a secondary focused Japanese battleship where the secondaries really, like, they just don't help it at all. They don't in the Tsurugi. Yeah, just go watch Hiromi's video on it. Go watch anyone's video on it. The Tsurugi is... It came out, and how it came out in the state that it was with how pitiful that AP pen is. Yeah, that should definitely. I'm looking forward to a massive long list of Tsurugi buffs in order to get it minorly working in the future. So stay away from the Tsurugi, stay away from the Iwami. Dyson is what I'd say is the best out of the four. The Heisen's pretty solid, but it's just kind of like that solid that's okay. Like, it's like, it's not like that super solid. Dyson at least is unique enough and like that because the Tsurugi is wanting to be like, yes, I got these torps. Dyson's like, I have more, and they're not deep water. So why would you ever pick up the Tsurugi when the Dyson's right there? So highly can suggest that one. I'm actually looking forward to potentially picking up the Dyson in the past. So luckily someone on stream got me to play it a little bit more, and I've kind of learned to kind of enjoy it right there. It's quite a fun ship. Now, the next one's probably gonna anger like 12 people. Yeah, just a few people are gonna be angered on this one. Aegir. Like, why would you get it when the choder? Yeah, Admiral choder, dude, that one, yeah, that whole meme. Yeah, what does the Aegir do that the choder doesn't do just straight up better outside of torpedoes? It really does. Like, the Admiral choder came in, like, I almost wanted to put the Palmer in with this, because I love the Palmer myself. Like, it still does something, in my opinion. It's kind of that, it's more against the Prince Rupert, just being how strong it is for tech tree. But for premiums, I almost added the Palmer in with this one, but because of the Palmer, it's just straight up raw firepower. I was like, no, it still has a place. And like that. But dear Lord, the Aegir now is like, what do you do with the Aegir whenever there's a choder coming after you? The choder will delete you if they're fairly decent and know how to dodge torpedoes. It is an uncontested battle right there. You know, it's just not a fair fight battle. It isn't. The Admiral choder is just straight up better than the Aegir, so I would definitely pick up the choder if you can. Absolute fantastic boat and stuff. So much fun. It's a little sneaky little cruiser and just rips things apart. It does take a lot of damage, but, you know, if you can fix that with shear or just, you know, premium heal kits, it generally will treat you well back. And now to one of the battle to the bottom contenders right here, Haida. Yeah, just get the Huron. And this is coming from a Michigander who loves to just harp on how Huron's beaches are just way worse than Lake Michigan. Seriously, if you've ever been on either side, you realize that no, Lake Michigan is the superior lake. Superior is just fun jumping when it's really super cold. But Huron, yeah, that's a really crappy lake. I just got sidetracked. Sorry about that one. But yeah, no, Huron just has much better skills, much better capabilities in comparison to the Haida for its tier, and the Haida just really needs some more buffs. I'm hoping that eventually Granddad finally just beats Wargaming down into submission and finally buffs the Haida. I really feel like he's just every single update he's just like, just more Haida buffs, because it really needs it. But yeah, Huron with that crawling smoke is just a fantastic tier 7 DD with all of its capabilities. It just adds a lot of buffs that the Haida really needs. It really does. So if you see the Haida for sale, if you're a collector, go for it. If you're not, wait for the Haida or the Huron. Just wait for the Huron. Wait for the Huron. Now that I'm done with that list, let's talk about different nations. One ship that just go get this other one in this other nation. It's just way better. So for different nations, do not pick up the Gremieshki. I like it. I do. I really do. But the Black Fushin and Anshan exist. And I think there's even another one that like another ship in that area for tier 6 that's just much better. Gremieshki is a great sniper long range, but the Black Fushin and Anshan are just doing everything that the Gremieshki does, but better, in my opinion, just with the skills that they bring, the smokes that they have, and the Gremieshki, like, yeah, you get that horrible turret traverse that just is really bad, and the Russian torpedoes really aren't that good at that tier. So really for me, don't pick up the Gremieshki, pick up the Black Fushin, pick up the Anshan. I think there's even another one. I think it's even the Tech Tree ship that's just straight up better than it, and especially now with the ship, with it being in the shipyard as of right now, it being for 10 copper and 5 steel, it's just way overpriced for it. So don't pick up that. Wait for the Black Fushin especially. I thoroughly enjoy that boat. And now on to the Richelieu. Richelieu has some history to it, and I definitely would suggest maybe picking it up, but if you're wanting a better bow tanker ship, pick up the Borodino. The Borodino gives you everything that the Richelieu wants and then some. It gives you radar, it gives you precise aim, it gives you guns that are basically tier 10 guns at tier 8, or I think it's tier 9 guns at tier 8. It's just ridiculous. And then on top of it, the secondaries are nutso accurate on that one, where the Richelieu basically has decent guns, decent secondaries, and fairly good AA for tier 8, and that's not really saying much. It's really aged, and I'd suggest a dispersion buff on the Richelieu at the very least to keep it somewhat relevant and kind of fun. But yeah, just get the Borodino. If you're wanting a friendship that's better, in my opinion, overall, you could still pick up the Champagne, but it's a very different playstyle. So yeah, that's why I wanted to compare the Borodino to the Richelieu. The Borodino just does it so dang well now, and those guns hit hard. The secondaries are fantastic, and even the AA holds up generally, at least in comparison to the Richelieu. But the Richelieu, it's getting some rust, and hopefully Wargaming will buff it fairly soon. Now, the Almirante Grau and the Black Harlem. I'm putting these two together because everything that they want to do, the DZP does straight up better. You want to flank and spot for yourself? You can. You want to airstrike people? You can. You want to set fires? You want to absolutely put out some DPM? The DZP can. The Almirante Grau post buff is at least not in the collector's bin anymore. It's at least playable. And the Black Harlem came out and everyone was like, who the crap cares about this? When literally the DZP is right there. Like, there is no point to play the Black Harlem when the DZP is right there. So just wait for the DZP, get that Almirante Grau. I know it's technically different, I know it's all this stuff, but it is a DZP class. And if you're wanting those guns, but just straight up better overall, and then having the capability of airstrikes and spotting for yourself, once again, just get the DZP. There's no point for the Almirante Grau overall in this meta when that exists, when the DZP exists. And now, tier 7 fire starters. I know, everyone's like, but that isn't a particular ship. No, any tier 7 fire starting cruiser or battleship, I don't care, gets replaced with Tokachi. I had Lazo in my notes, but I'm like, actually, you know what? No, just anything that you want to fire HE at tier 7, and you're like, hey, I want to make sure I can output a lot of damage. I want to make sure I can just put out a bunch of fires. Replace it with Tokachi. Tokachi does everything that you want it to do, and it's fantastic at it. It starts fires, absolutely. It can hit with torpedoes. It can survive because of the 360 nature of it. It can be stealthy if it needs to be. Oh, and by the way, you get close enough to it, that AP can rip any DD apart. highly would suggest it. If you're looking for a good solid ship to get those 30 mission or 30 fire missions done really quickly, Tokachi will handle it within seconds. I used to use my Nelson for it. Now it's my Tokachi, because Tokachi is just absolutely amazing. Tokachi, Pikachu. Yeah. Sorry, I can't. My brain just always goes to it. I don't know why. This does. It's probably stupid, but yeah, no, I cannot suggest the Tokachi enough in this case. And on to my last one, and I look forward to seeing all your comments down below of your examples of just premiums that are just way better than other premiums. I'd love to see down below. It will help a lot of people pick up the right ships in 2024 in comparison to older premiums that came out. That way people don't have too much buyer's regret. On my last one, Musashi, Georgia, and Tsurugi again, because gotta bash that ship just a little bit harder. And like that, why get any of those? Like, seriously, why get any of those when the Sun Yat-sen exists? This thing, I want this. I want it. Like, I know I have a press account. I want it on my main account because this thing is a Citadel, just hard-hitting AP alpha monster. And that 2049, or no, not 2049, 2059 camo looks fantastic on it. It is so nice. It looks so good. And then, you know, there's so many. The Sun Yat-sen was the first battleship, the 6-gun battleship that actually had decent accuracy, really, outside of Incomparable and such. Because, of course, at the time, we were all like, yeah, the Incomparable's incomparable to any other 6-gun battleship because it actually can hit stuff. And now the Sun Yat-sen comes in with the exact same thing and has laser accurate guns. Absolutely murders everything at Tier 9. Just fantastic. Georgia, it might be fast, but a fast battleship with lackluster guns, not really a great combo there. Musashi, it's just a very boring Yamato at that tier. I'd rather take a very interesting 6-gun sniper than take a very boring sniper in that case. And then Tsurugi, well, its AP sucks. I've listed this out already, so yeah, just get the Sun Yat-sen. Its pen is fantastic. You get so many citadels in that ship, or even just full pens of that nice 2,000 chunk of damage, and you're hitting like 4 or 5, so it's not any pitiful levels of damage. It just kind of sucks that you have to grind a whole commander just for it, basically. That's the one problem with it, is that no one has you don't have that tech tree line of, Pan-Asian battleships to help you grind. You have to grind it on that, which kind of sucks. But outside of that, Sun Yat-sen, definitely would suggest picking it up. And that is all for me today. Looking forward to seeing all of your comments down below of what your examples are of ships that basically just replaced older premiums, helping the newer players know exactly which premiums to pick up in World of Warships Blitz. If you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit the notification bell to see whenever a new video or stream goes live. It really does help out support the channel. If you want to help support the channel even further, you can click that join button down below and or join up on Patreon via the Linktree link down below. If you want to join up on Discord, definitely, it's an absolute fun place. You should go over and join up there. Link, of course, is once again in the Linktree link down below. Have a good day, everyone. Peace.